Hey guys, and welcome back to What's the Formula. Now, I'm not really showing off much formula on this one. I can't take credit for these two necessarily, other than I converted them from Elite into Ultimates, and I'll just figure I'll show them both right now. Mark Jindrak and Sean Stasiak. Now, the lower half was done by a customizer, great customizer, Mike Ruff. So again, I'm not taking credit for these. All I did was use Ultimate Warrior torsos. And if he sees this, he might be mad. I don't know. I mean, I paid for the figures. I mean, technically they're mine, and I wanted to go into ultimate status. And so I figured out that skin tone matches really well. So these two guys are phenomenal. I can't wait to add them to my ultimate roster. They're pretty much, I switched out the boots. Originally, we were going to white boots, but I need white boots for my Rob Conway I'm building. So, plus I watched a couple of matches where he was in this attire, and I was like, he mostly wore black with like leg sleeves. So it looks great. I mean, obviously, if I do find a a Sean Stasiak head, for some reason they didn't build a lot of Sean figures. Sean O'Hare, Sean Stasiak. Apparently, if you're a Sean, you just don't get many, unless your name's, unless you're X-Pac, you just don't get many figures. And oh, what is that you see off in the distance? It is the new Ultimate Bret Hart. Now, it is not the factory figure. In fact, it has been cracked. And you can see a little bit of a gappage there. I'm not too keen on that. It does not have drop down hips because I swapped it. I swapped it with the defining moments. Yep, that's very expensive swap for sure. To take the brand new one that just came out that people were charging arm and a leg for, and then to take a legendary one because I didn't care for the drop down hips because I don't want to run the risk of breaking them. So now I have a great Bret Hart. It was had the old school style torso for those who are wondering. So, you could always just get the cheaper Target exclusive version and maybe obviously I found one that was in great pristine condition as far as, as old as this figure is. You could, if you like the drop down hips, just go find the figure at Walmart. I'm told they're hitting now. I personally went and decided to go on eBay because I don't have time to go to hunt down at Walmarts and search and whatnot and wait and hope. It's easier just to pay the difference and call it a day. So that's the one I'm showing you. I mean, I showed you I showed you some conversions, and I'm showing you what I did. I decided to take the super expensive Defining Moments Bret Hart figure, found it loose on, I think, for $70 on eBay, and then I combined it with the $100+ they're charging for the Ultimate Bret Hart, which you can see I swapped the head too because those new Bret Hart heads are atrocious. I'm going to throw each one of those heads. There's 3 of them. I'm going to throw them on these extra Bret Harts I have lying around with no heads and just kind of part them, sell them off as is. I also did that to another person as well. I did it with the Roddy Piper. He also has the Ultimate style, older connector torso. So I literally just used a Elite lower Piper, and just because the drop down hips were falling down, and I don't like the idea of it. I run the risk of it breaking, and then it's like I'm out of Piper anyway. And let's not stop there. It's only a prototype. I don't have the singlet yet, but I did find a way to make a Big E Ultimate. Now, you can't find a big, bulky African American torso other than this one. And the legs are from him, though, you can see. So it's almost like the Rhino formula going on a little bit. But I think with the singlet, it's going to look more like his. And when he first started, he did have massive legs. I could probably go and get the arms and put the arms on there, whatnot, or use these arms, I think. But really, I mean, is that any much different? I don't really see much of a difference. I mean, I might switch him just for that, or I might switch the boots so he has white boots. I'm hoping I can find a cloth maker who can do this singlet design or close to it. But we'll have to wait and see if that's the case. A few other ones that I'm just going to announce right now because they're not done yet, and if they do get done, I will do a video on them exclusively. But I have decided to dabble into decals. And so I give you the 5 people that I am going to plan to decal. And it's an interesting video. I'm doing a bunch of stuff. I've got so many So many people over there to go over. But so you've seen, some people have seen Shad already. I've made Shad, and he is ultimate. He is ultimate underneath there. But I'm going to take the shirt off. I'm going to put the decals, the tat decals on there. I saw someone had done that on Macari, and I thought about buying that one and just save myself time. But I don't really want to pay $200 for two people I already have already. So, but he wasn't the reason I decided to do that. The person I decided to do it for was this person, Tyson Tomko. Now, of course, obviously, I do some painting still. He's still early work in progress. I'm going to be decaling his tattoos on. And then I remember seeing like a few times he did have a little bit of small chest hair. I could, probably remove the chest hair a little bit. The problem with this one, though, is it's really in there. So acetoning this off will be a nightmare to try to do that. The skin tone matches really well. The formula is really good. I think the only thing I'm going to do is switch out the legs and give him more of the smaller boots. So we'll wait and see. I mean, I bought the whole kit for that. So it's going to be more like his Jakks figures, the way they did their decals on that. You probably already saw Wade Barrett here. Pretty much almost done. He just needs to have the decals line up in here. Simple torso swap. I used the Terry Funk torso. Really made it nice. I mean, I might switch out the knee or the elbow pad for a red elbow pad as well. I was gonna go with the Bad News one, but I didn't care for that look. Then I was gonna originally just put the I Got Kids t-shirt over it and cover up the missing tats. Instead, I used the basic arms because they have the long shoulder wrist. Well, not shoulder wrist, but like wrist tape that goes up to almost mid-arm, forearm, if you will. So again, I'm just going to get the decals, and I think I sent away for the decals on this one as well. Just going to put them up here on the shoulders carefully, match them up, and hopefully, I'm told it's not super difficult as long as I take my time. I read the directions really well, and I'm just very gentle. I barely started doing this stuff back in November, so wish me luck on adding another step to it. Obviously, it's no longer just hodgepodging, but it's actually putting forth the effort. Another person who I've got cloth on the way for Sean Davari. I went and painted him up a little bit. I still need to Mod Podge the head a little bit so that way the paint doesn't come off. Master's still waiting for his gear. So I'm going to try it with the cloth gear. If it doesn't work, I'll send out for the singlet or the decals. But finished painting Mason, and unfortunately I made a little bit of a, I'm going to try to remove that little part right there. But the decals are coming. It's going to be, more of his NXT look, if anything. I thought about just getting, cloth singlet or cloth trunks over him, but then I was like, yeah, let's just do the decals, see if that works first. And I'll compare if I like decals or if I like cloth, because if it's, it's cloth, there's a few people I'm planning to do cloth for. Bam Bam Bigelow is currently being negotiated. Tajiri is almost finished. I saw the prototype for that, and I'm very excited about that. But I gotta drop the shout out, Mike Ruff. I mean, I've bought many figures from him. I've still got quite a few left that I'm still waiting on from him. We are kind of going into a different direction. He doesn't like to build a lot of ultimates. He has a few ultimates he's building me still, but obviously I'm taking his hard work. Such a beautiful. I mean, I thought, I bought the decals. I still need to put the decal on the arm. He doesn't do decals. He does a hand painted, which is just phenomenal. And you can see there's a little bit right there. I need to cover that in silver, but otherwise, he did a good job on repainting the head to make it match. I mean, this is just a Jakks head. Originally, he painted it to match skin tone, and it just so happened it worked really well for this Ultimate Warrior. If it didn't, I wouldn't have done this for sure. But I was just kind of looking through all my parts. And the same with the Shawn Stasiak. I mean, the head scan is not, I see it a little bit in there. It's more of almost like his Planet Stasiak look, if anything. I do need to Mod Podge over again a little bit because when I was taking the torso off, I had to put it in hot water. You can see the Mod Podge started to fall apart a little bit. But again, fully playable, fully posable. I mean, the cat's out of the bag. I plan to pretty much make everybody I possibly physically can. And for those who I know I don't have the skills to do it, if I can get someone else to make them, I'm going to turn them into ultimates. I'm going to turn into one uniform. Now, obviously, some people are beyond. I mean, unless I have an artist, there's no way I'm going to be able to turn him into an Ultimate, I don't think. The torso's too big. We need more parts for sure before we could even begin to do something like that. Just to show, a couple more people here. Originally, he was going to be on a Brock Lesnar body. He was on a Brock Lesnar body. He showed up to me on a Brock Lesnar body. However, it fell apart as soon as I started to move it a little bit. So I took the head off. After trying to salvage it, it didn't work too well. So I had a Goldberg torso lying around. Used the Dead Man Undertaker legs. That's why it's got that right there. And for the most part, I thought about getting rid of that, but I thought, you know what? It kind of matches the paint job up front, so why not? I do need to put the little dots. I'll be putting some silver dots everywhere on the attire, but there is Crush. A Triple H torso would have worked as well. I started doing that with the Triple H and Ultimate Warrior combination, but then I realized he was the same size as Nunzio, so I had to go bigger feet. And so now, when I get Nunzio, let me see if I can do this real quick here. And this is going on long enough. I'm gonna end this video here pretty soon, but you can kind of see Nunzio still needs. Nunzio still. I'm gonna need to shorten him down a little bit. I'm gonna go with the red boots. I'm gonna lower the calf out. This calf is just too massive because he needs to be a little lower. But you can see though the physical stature is more of a bigger man compared to little Nunzio, which I decided to redo Nunzio using the Stone Cold torso because aside from the AJ one, this one is really the skinniest you can get, and it does work for him. I just need to, I think, swap this out, put the red boots on there, find a smaller calf connector down here, shorten him down. He'll be great when I build the rest of FBI. So that's all I'm doing for now. That's all I'm going to share for today. Hopefully you enjoyed. Feel free to subscribe. Hey, thanks to the 124 now subscribers. I mean, this is kind of cool to start seeing this thing build up. I'm not expecting thousands upon thousands. This is a niche project. This is customizers. This is figure enthusiasts and whatnot. And I'm sure someone out there probably looks at this and thinks I'm crazy as could be to take perfectly good working elite figures and just to start, tearing them apart to build my own selfish ultimate set. But hey, you know what? You only live once, and I've been collecting since I was 8 years old. I've had many action figures. I've had stuff stolen from me. I've had stuff lost in fires. So I'm building myself my ultimate collection that, I will have to one day pass away, and either it gets sold off long before, or if I have a kid, I guess they could take it and do whatever. Who knows? Maybe Ultimate will be a thing of the past in a year or two. Who knows what's going to happen in the next few years? But until then, I've only been doing this since November. I don't know when I'm going to stop, but I do know I'm running out of formulas. But if these decals work, if I'm good at these decals, it does open up the Highlanders, and I'm currently looking at building Chris Candido, Perry's Saturn. I'm already in negotiation to build Disco Inferno. I'm getting the parts and stuff like that, and so I'm going to hodgepodge it together, excuse me. So stay tuned. And feel free to leave comments if you want to see, if you think I don't have somebody, or you want to see someone potentially made, maybe I can try to put my thinking cap on. But I will say this, if you're trying to use the new Rocky Johnson or High Chief Peter Maivia, they redid Rocky's skin tone. So if you do want to make an ultimate, I would recommend going with the older, darker. It's going to match really well with the Bobby Lashley skin tone. Well, the Mr. T skin tone. Because I can't for the life of me think of anybody who is like this in ultimate. Maybe Ali, but I don't know. I think he's even still too, this is, I would think Rock, but even Rock is not this color. So just give you a heads up. Till next time.